Hey, it's Mario from Mario's Early Toast. And yes, welcome to Breakfast with Mario. Today, I have an amazing guest. Yes, an amazing guest. And her name is Jessica Jolia.
Cool breeze flowing through the trees, all done wrapped around me. Oh, don't wear my heart on my sleeve, but it's sweater weather, baby. And maybe I can make an exception.
Jessica, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, thank you for being here with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you taking the time
Of course.
of being with me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a special kind of Mexican. Yeah. So how do you end up finding the Rockland location, Mario's Early Toast in Rockland? How did you find that?
So when I first moved to Rockland, I was actually just running errands and driving like back and forth on the freeway, and I saw the sign, and I was like, "Early Toast? What's Early Toast?" So I think I was going to Target, and when I got to Target, I parked and I just like typed it in to see what it was, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is like a cool like breakfast brunch spot. Let me like put a note in my notepad to check it out." And so I didn't go that day. I think I went that weekend, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing! Like the food's great, the people are great." So now, and it's like a 5-minute drive from where I live, so
Yeah.
it's like pretty much every week I'm there at least once.
When you looked it up in the internet, did you see my face?
I didn't see your
No?
face.
Are you sure?
No, I'm positive.
A lot of people see my face and they're like, "Oh, we got to go meet this guy."
But I mean, if I would have seen it right away, I probably would have thought the same thing.
yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
So you walked in there and you liked it. What was
yeah.
it that you liked? Was it?
It's a very like family-oriented environment. Everyone there was really pleasant. And it wasn't just like typical service, like, "Hey, what do you want? Here's your food. Can I do anything else?" Like people wanted to know like how your day was going, starting conversations. What do you do? What brings you here? And then for me, sometimes like I'm, kind of like I have a lot of dietary restrictions. So sometimes it's like, well, okay, I want to go because it looks so great, but I wonder if like they'll be able to accommodate me. And every single time, no matter what I order, they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll do it that way. It's fine." So like I love it. And like I said, when I go, it's like more like not just because the food's great, but the environment and the people.
Yeah,
they make it such
yeah.
a great experience.
We were talking earlier, you and I, and I'm grateful to God because He's given me this platform to meeting so many people in my restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
But the community here in Placer County,
Yeah.
they're incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost want to tell you, I feel God's presence everywhere, always.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing that in all our restaurants right now, there's amazing people supporting our restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
But other than the food, I always tell my all my staff and other members of my company, love on people. Because we don't know what they're going through. We don't know what obstacles they're facing, right? We talked earlier, you and I, about the obstacles that you and I faced to get to where we're at today. But you never know what struggles people are having. So I put on the back of their shirts to love people. So as a reminder, everybody has obstacles in life. Everybody has it difficult, just in different ways.
Yes.
So we're not just serving food. Let's give them a moment of caring. And some people only go out once a month, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are probably out every day. And so
Pretty much.
we're grateful for that.
Yes.
But some people go out once a month. Let's make it awesome for them.
I actually have the hoodie. The manager at the
No,
Rockland location,
really?
I kept seeing it and I was like, I wonder if they sell this. And then she finally was like, I don't think we sell it like online, but I'll sell it to you if you want one. And she went to
gosh.
pick it up from the warehouse. And that was the first thing that I noticed. I mean, I love the front, I love the logo, but it says "Love People" on the back. And I was
Yeah.
like, I need that.
I'm going to give you another one, and I'm going to also give you a hat
Okay, thank you.
that says Mario's.
I
That one,
love
when you're
it.
on tour, you're like, remembering
That's
me
my favorite
and the great time that
hoodie.
we had.
Do you know how many times people have been like,
Really?
"Is that somewhere where you live?" I said, "Yes." And if you're ever where I live, you need to check it out.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So I want to ask you, how do you think God has worked in your life? Because you seem humble. You seem very humble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely that was humility was instilled in me at a very young age, both my parents, my grandparents, my grandmother specifically. But I thank God for everything. My father is a minister, so I grew up in the church. I'm, one of the kids that was, at church probably 4 or 5 days a week, multiple services on Sundays. But yeah, like I just, my gifts, everything that I have, everything that I am, it's all, thanks to God. And in terms of, what I do, my passions, everything that I pursue in music, it's just trying to be a good vessel, a good steward of my gifts. But yeah, like God means everything to me. He is the reason that I do what I do. He gets me through the difficult times. Because of my faith, I'm able to, see the good in all of the hardships that I've endured. And I'm sure there'll be more to come, but rather than, kind of being discouraged or disappointed or even, questioning God, like, why would you do this to me? I'm such a good person. I'm a this, I'm a that. You kind of sometimes have to sit and be still and try to reflect on, what is happening, why it might be happening, what you can gain from it and move forward.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very good. Wow. How is it that you think, I know you're on tour quite often with Katy Perry, obviously.
Yeah.
Is it difficult being out there with all the temptations, with all the, I'm going to go ahead and say this, with all the sin around us, because we live in a world where it's just Satan attacks us in different ways. Is it difficult for you?
I will say, because I've been on tour with a lot of people, this particular group of people, specifically the band, they're just really great people, and I don't know what everyone's belief system might be, but they're not the partying group. They're not the drinkers. They're not the smokers. They're very focused on, doing the work, doing a great job, doing the show, and then a lot of us just, okay, go to the room and go to bed.
Yeah. They're excellent professionals.
Yes.
You like to call that, right?
Yes.
Excellent professionals.
Yes. I've been out with different artists, and the dynamic has been a little bit different. And even though, I'm pretty easygoing, I've not had negative experiences with people in terms of their personalities, but it's definitely been different dynamics where, this is a party group, so they're going to want to go do X, Y, Z. But where I am now, I think a lot of it has to do with, different maturity levels, and a lot of people have children now. And, their priorities are different. I don't want to go out and risk everything for this one night to do, X, Y, Z, wherever we might be.
Good for you.
I'm with a great group of people.
Awesome. How I came to Sacramento, real quick. I know this is all about you right now, but I wanted to share with you. I was blessed to come to this city. I started playing professional soccer for a team called the Sacramento Knights back in the 90s. I'm old. People, I'm old. And I was raised by a Japanese Hawaiian stepdad.
Okay.
So a lot of my dishes in my menu kind of reflect my culture with my dad. I'm very blessed to have an amazing stepdad that raised me, Edwin Hamai, from the island of Maui.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm grateful. So we have this breakfast rice and with 2 over medium eggs, because I like them over medium.
Okay.
But and then this is the Maui French toast. The Maui French toast. Oh my gosh, we saute the bananas with amaretto, a little bit of distilled butter. Yeah, and
is that coconut on top?
Yeah, and then there's coconut and macadamia. Yeah, on top.
So good.
But you know what I noticed, Jessica? I noticed that my belly was growing a little bit. and I had to.
That's what happens when you have good food, right?
I had to put on the menu half orders. So yeah, I'm trying to get on a diet right now. So it's hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult, right?
Well, especially when you cook good food, right?
Oh my
It's different
gosh.
when you have to go to the good food. You can make good food yourself.
Between my restaurants and then I have a friend of mine, I want to say hi to Taro, and all the Mikuni's staff and restaurants out there. Mikuni's. Oh my gosh, I could live with Mikunis every day too.
Yep, me too. I love
So-
Taro.
do
Taro's
you?
a friend. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love the guy. Yeah, we're having dinner tomorrow. By the way.
Nice. Tell him I said
Yeah,
hey.
so amazing guy.
He's so sweet.
You know what his goal is? To be the happiest man on earth.
I believe it. Everything that he does, everything he exudes, everything he posts, it's always so bright and upbeat. I
Did
love
you
his
hear
different
that,
hair
Taro?
colors.
Are you
He's
hearing
such
this,
a cool
Taro?
guy.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I appreciate you being here so much. I'm grateful. I for a fact know that your career is going to blow up. As a matter of fact, I know you're coming out with a project coming up, right?
Yes.
I think comes out the 25th of November.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. For so many years, I've wanted to release a project of my own, but it's tricky trying to juggle, touring with other people, writing for other people, trying to find the time to actually have what I feel like is a good amount of time to really pour into something of my own. So the result was always like, okay, this is a goal I've written down, but I'm kind of working towards it. So you release a single here and you release a single there, and you're getting like this cool feedback about it. But I never really had the time to set aside just to do that without having to, go do something for someone else. So last November, it had been almost a year since I'd written anything, and I worked with this producer that I actually first connected with via Instagram. His name is Jan Hunter Jr., and he's originally from the Bay Area, now located in Atlanta. But he had these really, really cool instrumentals. I think his genre would be like kind of like chill. I guess you would call it like chill mix, chill R&B, chill different genres. But I found this on my Explore page, like this Earth, Wind, and Fire cover that he did. And it was amazing. And I was like, who is this guy? So I reached out to him, and he like responded right away. And he was like, I know who you are. I've been following you a while. I'm like, oh, really?
Oh,
okay,
wow.
cool. So like, are you open to collaborating? And so he was like, oh, for sure. So he sent me, the very first instrumental he sent me was for the song that later became Ooh La La. And we released that.
I heard it this morning.
Yeah, did you like it?
Oh my God, you have me floating in the sky. Yeah, and it's cool because I don't know if you people ever seen a Mexican floating. That was me today. Yeah, I was having a cup of coffee and suddenly I started just floating, listening to your song.
Well, that's the goal,
yeah, it was
right?
pretty cool.
That's
very,
definitely
very cool.
my goal. I
Yeah.
always want to, put stuff out that makes people feel good, and that people, resonate and connect with. But we put it out last November. I had no expectations because it had been so long since I put any music out. And yeah, like I was saying, you get to the point where you're kind of wondering, like, it's been a while. Are people even looking, for music from me? And so I didn't really have any expectations. I just kind of went into it thinking like, I'm really proud of this, what this came out to be. And also because it was such a cool collaboration with someone who I hadn't even worked with in person. We were just kind of working back and forth over the internet. Just put it out and like, well, I love it. He loves it. We love it. Let's just see, how everyone responds. But it was incredible because it kind of just took off. It had wings of its own. You said you were floating.
Yeah, I was floating.
I think the song kind of did the same thing. And just watching watching it grow, whether it was on the streaming platforms or different, people writing about it or just reaching out saying, oh, this is such a cool song. And it fast forwarding now
That's
to it.
quite a bit of viewers, by the way.
Yeah, it's TikTok. It's over 70 million.
Yeah.
And that's
Quite.
just putting it out, just
Did you guys hear
letting
that?
it grow.
70 million.
Letting it grow organically, not
Yeah.
having a big label push, just letting people
70
do what they do.
million. 70 millones. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But so that was kind of my inspiration. It was like, okay, if that one song can do this, like, let's figure out how we can set aside the time to actually do, 5 or 6 songs for a project. And it took me a whole year
So Jessica,
to do that.
What's your dream? Now that you're realizing, oh my gosh, this is happening.
Yeah.
What is your dream? What is your ultimate dream?
I think my dream is the same as it always has been, and it's just been to create music that inspires people, that makes the world a better place, and not in the sense of the Miss America pageant response, but just whoever hears it, whoever the music touches, it affects them in a positive way. Whether that becomes a huge platform or it stays where it is now or somewhere in between, as long as, I'm using my gifts and my talents for good. And I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I can, help people get through different things or just make people smile. That's my goal. Being famous is kind of weird because you can't do the things that you can do now, right? I don't know how much I would enjoy not being able to go to the store if I wanted to and having to have someone do it. But at the same time, I realize that, whatever God intends for me is God's plan. So if it becomes a thing where, sorry, but people have to do that for you, I have to, just take that and let it be what it is.
I'll have a special booth for you at the restaurants.
Okay.
Andrea, let's make sure nobody can see her because then they're going to be bothering her. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm really honored. I mean that.
Thank you.
It's honor.
Glad to be here.
And I hope that God continues to to make you grow and grow,
you.
and so that you can give testimony of who he is and what he's made you.
Yeah, and you too.
You know?
Every time I look up, you guys are opening new restaurants.
Yeah. It's,
You got one here, you got one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tara calls me the other day and he goes, "Hey, Mario, what's your purpose?" So I replied not knowing, and I'm going, "Well, what's your purpose?" And he goes, "Well, I asked you first."
Mm-hmm.
You know, in this world, I realized that many years ago, my mom said, "Mario, if you put God first, everything else comes." And I realized that you can't God and praise money.
Mm-hmm.
You can't idolize two gods.
Mm-hmm.
Money's needed.
Yes.
Money's definitely needed, right? But I think God's purpose for me is to make a difference in people's life, as you and I were talking about it. I'm noticing that a lot of people that have started as dishwashers in my company, some of them are now chefs in my company, making very good money, bettering their lives.
Yeah.
I'm constantly finding myself praying and asking God for wisdom, because my decision making affects everybody around me. You know,
That's
my
right.
core leadership in my corporate office, my employees, everything. So I have to be very careful on every decision that we make, because it affects everyone. But if I can make a huge difference in people's life and better their lives, and God continues to put opportunities in front of me, then I'm almost feel I have to take those opportunities, because it's like He's talking to me. Hey, I
That's
don't
right.
want you to be, in a comfortable situation right now. I made you for more. And I think that's what's going to happen to you. He made you for a lot more abundantly. I love using that word, abundantly.
It's a great word.
So thank you for being here with me.
Of course.
One more time, this is how much God loves me, that He brought you here to Mario's Early Toast.
Yes.
So thank you. We wish you all the best in your career.
Thank you so much.
We will continue to follow you. And for the people out there, Jessica Jolia.
Thank you.